basically there's 4 different classes of fires. You got your Class A, Class B, Class C, and your Class D. Class A is just your ordinary material, wood, paper. Class B is your fluids like gasoline, oil, stuff like that. C is energized electrical equipment, and D is metal. Every every department has an ABC extinguisher. So basically, you can use it for whatever type of fire you would have in the building, except for D. The biggest thing with these is, remember, if you have to use one of these, make sure to call the fire department and get us on the way, because these are used for your exit only, not to try to fight the fire. So just remember that's the biggest thing to remember about these. Use of these, same thing as every time we've had these. You pull the pin, use the pass method, pull your pin. You want to aim with the nozzle, base of the fire, where that's basically the best part to aim, is right at the base. Squeeze these two together, and you want to do a sweeping motion back and forth. That's that simple. If you guys want to practice on this at some point, we don't have a truck that's got a water can on it with us today, but stop by the fire station anytime, and I'll pull one out, and we can play around with it. So basically, that's what fire extinguishers are. Does anybody have any questions?
What about the placement around each department?
Usually they are placed, fire extinguishers are placed at the exits for the most part. Hence why I say this is for your exit only. This is to protect you, to get you out of the building if you can. So you should see them in every exit. I come around once a month and check them to make sure they're still in good working condition. And we sign the tag, and so far everything's up to date. Yes, Mr. Dodd.
What other extinguishers are we gonna find here? I know Abington has a carbon monoxide extinguisher.
Right. Anywhere near where there are electrical equipment, the IT room here, the IT room over by the town manager's office, it's a CO extinguisher, which is so that it's for the electrical equipment, it's so it doesn't get ruined. If we are able to save it or save whatever's in the room, it just puts the fire out, doesn't add any dust or anything like that, which would cause the equipment to be no longer useful. So, any other questions? Yes.
What's a D rated?
It's for metals. Usually you'll see it like in a shop. I believe Public Works has one. It's for certain metals are flammable, and the only way to get them out is with that special material. You put water on it, it just makes it worse. So, any other questions?
We recommend people at home.
An AV extinguisher, an ABC extinguisher, it helps with everything. You don't have to try to guess in it. Okay, is this, do I use a water can? Do I want? It's everything right there in one. Makes life a lot easier. Less thinking if you have to. Anything else?
What do you do with it after you use it?
I believe bring it to us, right, Chief? Then we look at, or you can call the company on the tag, and they'll come back and they'll come and charge them and do all that.
Is that the responsibility of the fire department or the department that it's in? Well, we'll get it done, but you're gonna pay for it. Public Works always pays. Whoever uses it.
Right. Anything else? Yes.
Do they expire after that if you don't use it for a year? Do you have to
They are they're tested once a year. They're looked at. We have a company that comes into town and does it. They make sure that everything's up to snuff and working. And we come around once a month, make sure that it is still charged, there's nothing broken. And if it is, we let the company know, or I let Ed know, and Ed and me work together in getting that stuff taken care of.
Is it 5 or 7 years that they have to test it?
I think it depends on the extinguisher. They're supposed to say somewhere. I'm not 100% sure.
I think it's every 5 years they haul them out.
Is it 5? Yeah, it's 5.
So if you had to hold it down the whole time to get out, how long would that last you?
Maybe a minute and a half, maybe, give or take. So basically, if you're using that, you want to be heading right for the door. Yep. Yeah, it's not very
We
good.
actually had a case this winter, without breaking any HIPAA laws, where somebody tried to put out their fire in their home and potentially tried 2 or 3 of those and lost valuable time because they weren't able to put it out. They were trying to put it out instead of just get out, and they lost valuable time in their house. So it's, like Chris said, it's a tool for you to get out alive no more. Buildings are insured